When Queen Victoria married Prince Albert, a new German name entered the British royal family, Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. While the union itself was a celebrated love story, the name it introduced would preside over one of the most turbulent periods in British history. This is the story of a royal house defined by two kings, a world war, and a monumental change. The death of Queen Victoria in 1901 brought her son, Edward VII, to the throne, officially beginning the reign of the House of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. Known for his charm and diplomatic skill, Edward presided over a brief but dazzling era of peace and prosperity. The Edwardian period was a golden age of high society, cultural innovation, and international goodwill, with the king himself often called the Uncle of Europe due to his many royal relatives across the continent. His reign, though lasting only 9 years, left a significant mark on the early 20th century. Following Edward's death in 1910, his second son, George V, ascended the throne. In stark contrast to his father's reign, George's was fraught with immense challenges. The political stability of Europe crumbled, and in 1914, the world was plunged into the Great War. The conflict pitted nations and royal cousins against each other, creating an unprecedented crisis for the British monarchy and its German name. As the war raged on, and anti-German sentiment reached a fever pitch in Britain, the royal family's German surname became a source of public discontent. In a decisive and historic move, King George V renounced all his German titles in 1917. He declared that the royal family would no longer be known as the House of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, but would instead adopt a distinctly British name, the House of Windsor, inspired by the ancient castle that had been a home to monarchs for centuries. Though the name Saxe-Coburg-Gotha reigned for only 16 years, it bridged the gap between the Victorian era and the modern world. Through the reigns of Edward VII and George V, it navigated peace and war, ultimately giving way to the House of Windsor, the dynasty that continues to define the British monarchy to this day.